and just nipple tweak them, please. Hi guys, it's Steve from Team Green Prop here. See what I did there? Brilliant, seamless. I'm just going to do a quick video on a quad I built and the kind of parts that I've used in it. A little bit of an update on Team Green Prop, where we're at, where we're going in the future. What else? A few radio settings and just a bit of general chit chat. So first of all, if you like Team Green Prop, go and check us out. Check our website out, check our Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Etc, etc. We're going to be on Quad Talk podcast next month, and if you guys, for a start, if you haven't listened to it, go and listen to it. If you're into FPV racing, mini quads, do yourself a favour, go over to Quad Talk podcast, download their podcasts, and just enjoy it. Sit back and thank me later. Two guys from America, Canoodle and Trace Van Gordon, and they're epic, man. They're just cool guys. Like, then the podcast is sweet, so go and check them out. Go and support them. Right, so this is a QAV-R 5-inch. As you can see, 5-inch blades. There's the 4-inch version and the 6-inch version, but the 5-inch is kind of considered to be a happy medium between efficiency and maneuverability, and it's kind of it does everything. It's a bit of a jack of all trades. It's got the KISS flight controller on it and the KISS ESCs, and to be honest, it's revolutionised quad flying for me, really. I was on a QAV 210 with a Naze 32 Rev 6, and I then bought a TBS Vendetta, which is on an F3 board, really responsive, really nice S-bus, and all that deal, and that was like a level up. This is kind of another level up from that. I'm not going to lie to you, this build was pretty much copied exclusively from the Rotor Riot Alien 5-inch build that Chad did. And why the fuck not? Like, you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel with this stuff. Find a pilot that you like their style, figure out what they're using and copy it. There's no shame in it, copy it. You're going to end up with something that's rock solid and that performs really well. Now you can see how this performs on a link that I'll put in the description below this video. It's super locked in, it's super sweet, super crisp, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm going to build another one. And that's really, it's mainly because of the software on it. The KISS software it just works really well. And the nice thing about it is you can upload PID tunes for your own setup, which means that other people can use them. So for this, I went onto the GUI, I found someone had done a QAV-R with 2206 motors, the same sort of props I'm using, the same setup. I just used that PID tune and the thing is super locked in. I've not touched it. I've upped the rates a little bit, but that's it. So yeah, let's quickly run through it. So I've got the KISS flight controller, the KISS 24 amp ESCs, the Lumineer 2206 motors, which are silky smooth. They run like corn through a goose. I love them to bits. I've got the FarSky XSR receiver, which is really nice because it's dead small. And the antennas are real small on them now. A lot smaller than the D4R2 and the X4R. And it's got the telemetry, the S port, and the S bus as well for your connection. I've got a VTX. I've got the 600 milliwatt immersion RC and a Spiranet antenna. I've got an HS1177 camera, which I've put a 2.5mm lens on. Now, from what I've seen, you can get 2.8, which is standard, what comes with all the cameras. You can get 2.5, which is what this is, or a 2.1. 2.5, in my opinion, is a happy medium between the narrower 2.8 and the really wide 2.1. With a 2.5 set at that kind of angle, which isn't huge, but it's still fairly aggressive, you can still see the floor, so it makes landing really easily. And it means that when you're flying around, even when you're inverted, you can see the floor, you can see the sky above you, and it just gives you a little bit more what's the word? Spatial awareness, I guess, when you're flying around. So it's a good idea to upgrade the lens to a 2.5. The batteries, I'm using the Nanotech, give the camera a second to focus here. The Nanotech 1300 4-cell 45 to 90C batteries. These are brilliant, cheap and cheerful from Hobby King, and I've used them from the start and they perform really well. And that's all I need to, I mean, if a battery works, then a battery works, in my opinion. You don't get much sag at the end of it, battery sag at the end. They charge up well, never had a fire with one. So yeah, good work, Nanotech, Turnigy, keep them up. Props, HQ 5x4x3. I used to run these are the dowel props, but again, if you listen to the Quad Talk podcast, there's a lot of discussion on the different types of props. With the dowels, they're claimed to be indestructible. This camera's not focusing. They claim to be indestructible, which is great, and if you bend them, they kind of bend and you can bend them back. The problem is, when they do bend, then they'll start drawing a lot more amps from the ESCs on the quad, and you start to get vibrations and things start to get hot, etc, etc. With the HQ props, they're made from a different material. I'll try and find a damaged one that I can break for you. I can't find one. I'm not going to break this one because I'm really low on them at the moment. But if I was to bend that, it would just snap. Again, camera, sorry. Yeah, it just snaps. So these break a lot more. But when they're not broken, they're totally balanced and not bent. So everything runs as it should. Okay, so quickly then, let's just discuss the telemetry on the radio. I had to do this. Everyone who's got a Tranus has to do this.
Shit is about to get real.
You can put your own voices on.
Engine disabled.
Brilliant. Check this out. So plug the quad in. Really quickly then, I can show you.
Telemetry lost.
Okay, telemetry.
Telemetry recovered.
Telemetry is a bit sketchy when you're this close to the quad. It actually interferes with it. I've got the telemetry, the RSSI, the signal. All right, you do my heading now. I've got... Things are so stiff. Telemetry lost. Whatever. I've got the battery voltage, and I've got it on a switch as well.
16.2 volts.
I've got the battery for the actual transmitter and the RSSI. Like I say, when you're really close to the quad, it interferes and it doesn't sort of work. But as soon as you start flying, this thing works really well. I've also got a few settings on here that if that drops below a certain point for a certain amount of time, it will let me know. Same with the battery voltage. When that drops to less than 13.8 volts for over 3 seconds, because when you punch out, it can drop below that for a second or two. So when it's a steady below 13.8, it'll give me a battery low warning. I'm not going to get into how you do this, but if you want more information on this, if you go onto Flight Club on YouTube, Flight Club's channel, he does some build guides and that sort of stuff. He goes into setting up the telemetry on the FarSky Taranis. It's a real good few video series on there to get into, and he does some really nice builds as well. So if you're thinking of doing a build, you know, and you're new to it, maybe copy one of his builds. Real nice guy. High def video recording. I use a GoPro Hero 3, just because I've had it for ages, and I thought when I was getting into this sort of stuff, I'm not going to buy a brand new GoPro and stick it on a quad. I'm going to spaff into a wall. I'd love there to be a GoPro replacement plan like there is in the States with Best Buy over here, and if that was the case, I'd buy a Hero 4. I'd go and fly it, and if I crashed it, I'd just replace it. But it seems that Best Buy are the only ones in the world doing that plan, which is great for the American guys, but not so good for us. But this just sits on top of the quad in a little foam wedge there, and at that kind of angle. So it kind of matches and mirrors the FPV camera angle. So we've got a couple of sponsors now. Team Green Prop has. One of them is UAV Graphics. Check those guys out. They do some amazing graphics. We've got landing pads, we've got cups, we've got t-shirts and all that sort of stuff made from those guys. And if you want any graphics made or designed, go and have a look at UAV Graphics. Really cool guys, very competitive prices, and the quality of the products they do is fantastic. We've just secured a new sponsor, which we're dead excited about, Drone Superstore. dronesuperstore.co.uk. Go and check those guys out. They've got all the KISS gear in, okay? Not many suppliers have got the KISS stuff in. These guys have. They've got good relationships with their suppliers, and their prices are very competitive, and they're very good at communicating as well. So if you have any problems with any orders, they'll soon sort that out. So go and check those guys out as well. Guys, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else to say right now. So go and check out our other videos. Stay tuned. And if you like this content, do what you normally do. Like, comment and subscribe. All that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, boys and girls. Happy flying. Stay safe. Booyah.